Well, it turns out being identifiably black in the Obama administration means that you will be fired quickly and swiftly. And one more thing, which is even more ridiculous. Do you know that Barack Obama and the Democratic administration of the United States government gets their facts from Fox News? Well, people, this is the Cavalry. Man, I've been trying not to say nothing. Every time I, wanted to go ahead and just, pretty much speak out, I just deleted the information and just kept on moving with our original topics. But have you guys heard about this Shirley Sherrod firing?
Just a straightforward, fundamental question here. Did you discriminate against this white farmer, Roger Spooner? He was facing foreclosure 24 years ago. And again, this was before you were working for the United States Department of Agriculture. Did you discriminate against him?
No, I did not discriminate against him. And in fact, I went all out. I had to frantically look for a lawyer at the last minute because the first lawyer we went to was not doing anything to really help them. In fact, that lawyer suggested they should just let the farm go. All of that process, that's why I tell it, because everything that happened in dealing with him, he was the first white farmer who had come to me for help. Everything that I did working with him helped me to see that it wasn't about race. It's about those who have and those who don't. That farmer, the farmer's home had done something to him that I haven't seen them do to any black farmer. And they had actually rented his land to someone else when they didn't have a right to do that. He still had title to the land. That's why he couldn't qualify to file Chapter 12 bankruptcy. That's why in the end we had to try to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy to stop the forced sale the first Tuesday in June.
All right, I'm going to ask it again slightly differently. Again, did you discriminate against this white farmer 24 years ago when you were, I guess, about 38 years old because he brought you what you described in your March NAACP speech as a superior attitude?
Initially, and that's why I said that, I took the time to weave what was happening there. He did come with a superior attitude, but I didn't discriminate. If I had discriminated against him, I would not have given him any help at all because I wasn't obligated to do it by anyone. I wasn't working for the government. I didn't have to help him, but I did. And I went on. That was the first white farmer I helped. I went on to help hundreds of others through the years. I'm from the South. I've lived in the South all my life, and I know how black people were treated by white people during those years. My own father was murdered by one, but I didn't let that get in the way of trying to help. I don't know why it's so difficult to see. I didn't have to help that farmer. I could have sent him out the door without giving him any help at all. But in the end, we became very good friends, and that friendship lasted for some years. I didn't discriminate, and I made it very clear to the staff there at USDA that it wouldn't be tolerated during my tenure.
So why are you out?
I said it over and over again.
Why are you out?
Pardon?
Why are you out?
Why am I out? They asked me to resign. And in fact, they harassed me as I was driving back to the state office from West Point, Georgia yesterday. I had at least 3 calls telling me the White House wanted me to resign.
So the pressure came from the White House.
And the last one asked me to pull over to the side of the road and do it.
You willing to name names?
And that's exactly what I did.
Are you willing to name
Pardon?
names? Are you willing to name names?
Oh, I can tell you that was Cheryl Cook, the deputy undersecretary. She called me and said, because she called me and I said, Cheryl, I got a 3.5-hour ride to get into Athens. She called me a second time. Where are you now? I said, I'm just going through Atlanta. She called me again. I said, I'm at least 45 minutes to an hour from Athens. She said, well, Shirley, they want you to pull over to the side of the road. and do it. Because you're going to be on Glenn Beck tonight.
Wow. So the administration pressured you out.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I don't feel good about it because I know I didn't do anything wrong. And I know during my time at USDA, I gave it all I had. I worked when I didn't feel like it. I pushed the staff to get out there in places they had not been into before. Like I said, the 9 counties I targeted, I asked them shortly after getting there, tell me what rural development has been doing in these areas. And when they did that, there were zeros in a lot of places. And I knew this was an area where we needed to target. We need to get the programs out into some of these areas that need it, just like some other areas that had gotten the funding over and over again.
So I want to be really specific here, and I apologize for, I just have to do it. So you get 1, 2, 3 calls from Ms. Cook, and at the point that you have the conversation, that it is made clear to you that you need to go. How does that conversation go? What is said to you?
The very first one, I guess there were like 4 calls, because the very first one was before I got in my car to go to Athens. She said I was being put on administrative leave. The next call, after I sat waiting and waiting, because she told me she would call me right back, the next call said that they're going to have to ask me to resign.
Did you, do you feel as though you had an opportunity to state your side of the story?
No, I didn't. The administration didn't. They were not interested in hearing the truth. No one wanted to hear the truth.
The NAACP released a statement late last night saying, in part, we are appalled by her actions. That is an opportunity to explain what happened 24 years ago. Do you feel as though you got that opportunity, even in a phone call with the NAACP?
The NAACP has not tried to contact me one time, and they are the reason why this happened. They got into a fight with the Tea Party, and all of this came out as a result of that.
Your reaction to...
I would have appreciated, when you look at my history of civil rights, I would have appreciated having the NAACP at least contact me, and Roland Martin too, contact me to try to get the truth about what happened.
The reaction to, your reaction to essentially being condemned by the NAACP.
That hurts, because if you look at my history, that's what I'm saying. I've done more to advance the causes of civil rights in this area than some of them who are sitting in those positions now with the NAACP. They need to learn something about me. They need to know about my work. They need to know what I've contributed through the years.
You know, being fired or resignation, whatever the heck they want to call it, is more like a firing. Because, you know, anytime you call somebody over and over again while they're driving, you happen to be their boss, and this is coming from the White House as well, and you're forcing someone to pull over and resign right now, then that's effectively a firing. This is really unfortunate, because Shirley Sherrod is just one of those old school type of black women who, you know, you can really just tell that she's not on that strong, independent sisterhood crap. She's not like this new crop of African-American women who are just on some local train to Bizarro land. And this is really unfortunate, because what it does is it points out the fact that, you know, the Obama administration, you know, really is just so weak, you know. And, you know, to ask Vilsack to apologize, which he should have done. It should have been more like Vilsack should have been told to apologize. I mean, this guy is weak, he's a punk, and really a waste of skin, because he let Fox News, which is notorious for lying since the year 2000, would actually go with what Fox's premier blogger came up with. Basically, he just manipulated footage and just lied to America. They actually went with that crap. And it's amazing. You got to think about this. The Obama administration finds bloggers from Fox as more reputable than his base. And this is pathetic. And then for the Obama administration, for this to be happening under the Obama administration is sad. I mean, let me put a fine point on it. Basically, if you're a black person and you're working for the Obama administration, if you sneeze, you are fired. I mean, these Democrats up there on Capitol Hill are so weak.